Hey, nah, not that. 1 minute. That's better. My name's Jason and this is my 80's podcast. You put the boom boom into my heart. Right. Part two. So you've just listened to part one. So part one was me chatting with Karen and Claire about words ... don't come easy. So it was all about the lyrics of 80's, as some of them lyrics are shocking. So this is the second part of the podcast I did, because we was talking and chatting, and you know it's like we just carried on talking. So I thought I would use it as a second part of my podcast. So this is me, Karen and Claire talking about everything 80's, literally everything. And I did it because it was so nice to get Claire on for the first time, because I've not done any chats with Claire. So it was great to have Karen and Claire on. So please take a listen to this. This is brilliant. This is me. God, I sound really arrogant, don't I? This is me, all about me. So this is Karen, Claire, and me talking about 80's. Take a listen. Take a listen. Spoke about comedians, haven't we?
Oh my Lord.
Honestly, Claire, do you know when I think of some of the comedians, I mean, the one I love the most, when I've spoke about him, was Kenny Everett, but he was very clever, Kenny.
Yeah, I remember watching him a lot.
And he wasn't like vulgar and nasty way. He was like, it's like, Cupid stunt. You know what I mean? We know what that meant. And I love it. And that, all the other Sid the Snot, and he was really clever, but it was the Birmingham man, wasn't it? Do you know, you just think to yourself.
Oh, Jim Davison.
Yes.
Oh, Jim Davison was
Do
very.
you know what I mean?
Well,
it's like,
huge.
He spoke, as much as everyone, Benny Hill was massive, wasn't he? But he was a lech.
Yeah.
I swear something should be coming out about him.
I just find him very...
How did he get away with it?
I just find him very...
Sid James in the Carry On film.
Yeah.
Horrific, apparently.
Yeah. And I always find that, you know, like, I mean, when you watch Benny Hill now, I've watched clips the other day, so I was going to do a revisit with Benny Hill, but I didn't find anything that I really... but I think that Benny, he was very slapstick, wasn't he? He was very tongue-in-cheek, but it was very, like, they were obsessed. It was very,
what's the word? It was very chauvinistic.
Yeah. And it was like... And,
I mean, the women were just literally objects of ridicule, weren't they?
And it's like when you see him now, I see one of them when he smacks him on the arse. And you know what I mean? And we used to find that funny. And I suppose, in sort of thing, I get why they find it funny, but you just think, you really shouldn't be doing that, you know what I mean?
Some of the things were really funny. Like, I quite liked Ernie. He drove the fastest milk cart in the West.
Honestly.
I used to find that really funny.
Do you know what I used to love the most? I know they was out earlier, but I remember them from the 80's, was I used to love the two Ronnies.
Yeah.
They
did like them.
They were really clever with what they did, weren't they? They were...
Very good.
You know,
lots of innuendos.
Yeah. And even Cannon and Ball. I sort of...
Oh, yeah, they were a bit more cleaner, weren't they?
They was...
Sometimes.
Yeah. It was the rock on Tommy bit, and you just think, and he did it, and he'd let his brace go and it hit him, and he'd do it every time on his show, and we'd all laugh at the same time. It's like...
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's like morons, aren't we?
We're like goldfish, to be fair. We completely forgot what he was doing, but yeah, I think they were really good, and for me, I just think, it's like I was watching some of the, and I just think, God, you know, Saturday night TV is nothing.
Oh, I used to love it.
Nothing like it, wasn't. Yeah, in the 80's, I mean, you had like the 18, didn't you? Then you had Knight Rider, and then you had
Magnum.
Yeah.
Ball Guy.
Generation Game.
Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, Dukes of... Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You had all that sort of... but now I'm sick to death of Ant and Dec, to be honest. I'm sick of watching them.
Stones. What?
Is that where they were?
Yeah.
God, no. I've never been a big...
about them being in Basingstoke, but I missed them because I was at work.
Oh, it's a shame. Shame you missed him.
What a shame.
well,
I mean, the thing is, I just love the comedy, like the 80s stuff. It was like you said, the Saturday evening. I used to be on Night Ride, and as everyone knows, I could not watch Golden Girls. It used to be on a Friday, and my dad used to look at me going out, because I would be not just laughing, I'd be crying laughing, and my dad would look at me, and he probably didn't get the sort of sarcastic, because it was very sarcastic, wasn't it? It was very
very quick.
Yeah, one-liners, and they were so not nasty. They were so quick-witted with each other, weren't they? And I used to be rolling around laughing, and my dad would go, "There's something not right with it." I mean, he's not wrong. Yeah, he wasn't wrong, to be fair, but you know what I mean. And he just never got it. But then he used to love, and I did like him, Tommy Cooper.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Tommy. Yeah. I mean, he was just. I mean, I can remember my dad watching when that happened to him on stage, when he passed, he collapsed, didn't he, on stage?
Yeah.
Oh, my dad he'd got all the black band around his arm for weeks.
He was a legend.
Yeah. And he did the same with Freddie Mercury, to be fair. But yeah, when.
Hey, did you ever sit with a microphone up to the telly when Top of the Pops was on?
Oh, I did. I
did do that.
No, I used to put my ghetto blaster up against it.
I'm that little bit younger. I used to wait for it to come on, and then I'd literally press pause on the tape.
God! Do you know what my sister used to do?
Started, it was recorded.
And then you try and stop it before their DJ gobs come on.
Yeah.
My sister was talking about that. She says, "I'd always remember if I couldn't find any sellotape, because like obviously when you've got new cassettes, if you can." You used to have to put sellotape over the top, didn't you, to play it?
Yeah.
I used to chew like bits of paper and stick.
What?
I think the worst thing I ever did, and I think I've mentioned it a long, long time in one of our podcasts, is, I mean, now I appreciate it because obviously I love music, but as a kid, I can remember, because this is another thing about a little bit of ADHD I think I've got, and a bit of thing is the fact that when I wanted something, I had to have it yesterday. And my dad had got a cassette, and he'd just got a new cassette of Queen, and it was there. I can't remember. The front cover's got all that. It goes around in a circle. It's all pinks and all that. It's one of their greatest hits albums, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, Karen, Claire. I took the ends off, and I taped over it on Top of the Pops. I think my dad went from naught. My dad was a really laid back man, and he went from 0 to 10 within. He wasn't even in seconds. I think he skipped the second. He just went absolutely. And I just in my head I couldn't. It's like it was a cassette, but why didn't you wait? Because I'd taped over all my other ones instead of me taping over. No, I didn't want to. I'm not selling myself on it, am I? To be fair. But yeah, and I can remember that's the only time he was absolute, right? I've known it, seen him same, and I understand now because it was because obviously everything was on cassette or vinyl. But I think in the end, I kept thinking you've got it on vinyl as well. So what's your problem? Yeah. They were cassette.
Do you remember putting the pencil in it and winding it round?
I always remember someone teaching me how to. Do you know sometimes when you used to come in your cassette recorder and it'd chew it up, and I honestly, I just want to explode. That's how bad. My mind used to just go absolutely off the rails. And then someone told me how to. So if you really, so sometimes they chew and they snap, didn't they? So someone, I can't remember what someone taught me that if you make sure the level, get some sellotape and place two ends like that on the sellotape, fold them over so they're exactly there, and cut the rest of it off. So when it gets, and then it'll go through and it'll play again. It'll jump on that bit.
Yeah, but it will play.
I could cope with that jumping. Just wanted to say. I was like that, and this is what I was saying. Yeah, and cassettes, and I used to. The thing is with cassettes, though, after a bit, they used to like not jump. They used to go really slow.
Some of them used to either go like Pinky and Perky, or they.
Low.
And then you think, oh, it's going to chew it up, and you try and get it out before it did, and there you are going like that with all this
reams of ribbon. chuck the thing away.
Yeah, and now I just think to myself, why was I so angry about that? Because now
I used to be like, when I used to tape things on the blank tapes, I was so anal about it. You know, you got the white strip down the side.
Oh, did you write on it?
And you used to write on it, didn't you? So I had to write the program, the date, the time. Oh, it was terrible. I used to have it stacked all in a little cupboard in my bedroom.
Claire,
them all.
and we thought I was
Yeah, I'm terrible.
But that's what we used to do. And it's like with the records, it's like with vinyl nowadays. I always think, I used to love the vinyl that you opened it up and you got that massive sleeve, didn't you? And you could read all the lyrics in it. And and cassettes used to do that. Didn't you? Used to open them up, and I mean, I had better eyesight then, but you could open them up, and they had these tiny, the words.
I've seen the album of Greece.
Yeah, I bought the vinyl actually. I think I've mentioned it before. I bought it off eBay because I'd lost the original. My mum had got rid of it, but I'd lost the original. So, but that's still in good condition. I just need to clean them, and you know what I mean.
Also, a pink vinyl of "Love to Love You, Baby."
Oh,
Madonna Summer.
That's a good song. That's a good song. That's what he's known.
I took it to school. I think it was in the 70s, that one though, wasn't it? But I took it to school because they asked us
it was end of 70s.
And I took that one in, and everyone else brought things like Monster Mash and stuff like that. And then they went to play mine, and the first few seconds of it on there, and the teacher whipped it off and went, "I don't think so." And put it back.
Well, yeah, because she makes them noises.
Yeah, he did it for that. So I thought it would be funny.
I honestly, I've spoken about vinyl before. I do love vinyl, and it's worth a lot now. I mean, you can pay a fortune from now if you want some of the old 80s stuff. I love it. I love vinyl.
All my police ones.
Oh, and your cassette ones. Have you got cassette players as well?
Sorry?
I haven't got any cassettes, you know. Well, apart from the ones in here that I've saved, but I didn't.
No, I think I got rid of mine.
Yeah, and now I just think.
Unless my dad's got them.
All the videos have gone now to the charity shop. So don't, like, even CDs, DVDs, sorry, we don't play DVDs anymore.
I always wish that I'd have saved all of my vinyl and all of my, because I had loads, and cassettes as well. You know what I mean? It's like, I used to like one ID vinyl on the cassette. I mean, there was no difference to it. It was just that I could go outside with my personal cassette player to listen to one before. You couldn't take your vinyl out for that. Or you could then get a blaster. Do you know what? I had one of the best get a blasters ever. Mine was a double cassette one. And it's when you used to go on
the tape on the tape.
Yeah. It's when you used to go on this. My sister had was a good one. She had a single cassette one, but her speakers used to detach. Whereas mine didn't. Gosh. No, I just got a double cassette. But I used to love going on the street. We used to go on the street corner. I mean, now you couldn't do that now, could you? Because you'd be.
You carry it so heavy. You used to stick it on, turn it on,
Yeah.
Listening it to hear.
And I used to go mad at my mum when the batteries ran out, and she'd say, "You got to save together myself." Oh my God. That was like torture. But it's been, when you think now, in the 80s, we used to go on the street corners, listen to music, and it was loud. And we used to put we used to do the break dancing, didn't we? We used to, as well, we used to put the cardboard. I was never.
We coloured in. We used to have squares.
Oh, and
square paving outside where we lived. Great big, huge area it was. It wasn't meant for anything. There was nothing built on it. Just a massive area. And we went out there one day and coloured them all in with different chalks to look like a disco.
You wanted a disco floor, didn't you? And in the street.
I wanted it to look like Saturday Night Fever.
But I see, for me, I always think I love all that, and I think these things like that I miss about the 80s, that I loved about the 80s. It was like, we've said this before loads of times, you're never in, you're always out. You know what I mean? It was just, it was a completely different era, wasn't it? And it's, you know what I mean?
So one of the kids in school the other day, we were doing a debate on, there's this new big debate on whether children should have phones in schools now. So we had an assembly on it, and then we had to go back to class and say to the children, right, we're going to have a debate on it. Who's for, who's against, give us your ideas. Anyway, as they got through, I said, well, you know, we didn't have phone. I didn't have a phone when I was younger. When I was your age, I never had a phone.
Oh, but it was like talking foreign to them,
and they went, well, if you didn't have a phone, how did your mum get hold of you?
Didn't.
So I literally went, she opened the door and went, get in!
We were saying this. I always think growing up in the 80s, we were, I'm not saying parenting is bad. We parented ourselves.
We were allowed more freedom.
Yeah. And I feel that we parented ourselves because they'd let you out, didn't they? And they ain't got a clue where you were at all.
I always make sure I was around my area nearer the time to go in, but I used to sit there and think, don't call my name first. Don't call my name first. Let someone else be going call first. I don't want to be the first one to go in. Yeah, all I used to do, I mean, my mum used to just shout. Like fish one.
Yeah.
You didn't want mums come out.
And we could literally have been round the street, round the back, but we still heard her. I mean, I've said that before. I can remember my mum shouting me once, and this is overshare, but I will overshare because my mum was like this. And I always remember we had like behind it, at the back of our house, we used to have like a recreation centre. But remember those massive 6-foot fences with the big spikes on, the wooden ones?
Yeah.
And I remember climbing over that, and I put my feet in it to jump. But as I jumped, I didn't go, so I hit the floor. And you know, like, I'd winded myself. So you know that horrible winding. And all I remember is going home, couldn't breathe, and my mum's going, "What's the matter?" Because my mum panicked a lot. What's the matter? What's the matter? And I couldn't speak. She went, I mean, this is where her mind went. She's going, "Oh my God, Jimmy, he's been buggered. You just think, where the hell has that come from?" And she'd be jumping around. She went, "Go to him, Jimmy. He's been attacked. Someone's buggered him." It's like, what? And because I couldn't say anything, I couldn't get the words out. She just went off. She goes into this freaky panic. And I always remember, as soon as I eventually got my words out, she hit me. Because she said I'd scared her to death.
Yeah, that was not. You scared me to death.
Yeah,
I didn't realise.
Straight round. Yeah, when you
I
think...
was like, I didn't know the time. My watch stopped. Didn't hear you. Yeah, loads of things, wasn't it?
My mum used to say, "You're not deaf when I'm shouting you for your food, but you're deaf any other time." Oh God, I would go back. I always say that. I always say to people, I go back to the 80s if I could take my mobile phone with that.
When, like, my mum used to make lollies.
Yeah.
She used to make lollies and freeze them. And she used to do an abundance of them because it was all made out of orange juice and blackcurrant juice. Really easy to make. Yeah. They were quite shit, to be honest, but they were ice lollies. But all my mates and everyone, they go, "Come in," and we'd run the freezer, give all my mates lollies.
I can remember when we lived in Braunstone, which is a bit of a rough area. The woman next door, well, it's called Braunstone, but I always tell people it's Braunstone. And it's like places like, you know, Mataland. I say, I go to Matarland.
Primani.
What was it? Matarland, and there was another one. I can't remember the other one that I used to say. But yeah, and I always remember the woman next door when we was kids growing up. She used to make her own toffee apples. And all I remember is her scolding herself. And she was a big lady with a big pair of boobs. And she ran outside and she's absolutely going mad. And she's going to me, "Dad, Jimmy, in this room." And he just, "What do you want me to do?" Because she just ripped it off. They were all out everywhere. But she literally, you know, like this bit here, the tar of the toffee, because when she'd finished, I think it had dropped and it just like, but that's what...
Do you remember, like, did your mum for that? My mum always used to come out the front at the weekends, well, even in the holidays and that, but with a cup of tea. And all the mums
sit in the street.
They're drinking some tea while all the kids were out playing and stuff.
Yeah,
she's and gossiping and.
Oh, we were. This is how. I shouldn't say bad because Braunstone wasn't that bad. I mean, We used to have settees in the front garden. Settees in the front garden. I mean, that's a bit like the.
We always had chairs out. All our dining room chairs used to come out.
Oh,
and we used to sit on them.
We had settee, and I remember the bloke just down the road had a donkey in his front garden.
We made our own skateboard ramp. We literally got hammer and nails from all our parents and wood. Well, I don't know where we got this wood from, but we made this skateboard ramp. And every night, and the parents got sick of it because every night all they could hear is.
Yeah. But we used to do you know when we used to do that? We used to do that and on our bikes, and we used to jump over people that used to lay underneath it.
Yes.
Do you know, you just think to yourself, you're absolutely not right. None of us were. Because we'd sit there and you'd have a ramp on bricks. And, and people were laying, and you'd jump over them. One or two. And you'd say, oh, I'll try 5 of them. You'd think, there's no way on Mary motherfucking earth, I'm swearing now, am I going to be the 5th one? I want to be the first one, because you're going to clear that one. You're not going to clear the 5th one. Honestly, or sometimes, even if they didn't jump them, they'd go up it, and then their bricks would fall, and they'd just fly into all 5 of you. Oh, God. Why would you do that?
We had so much freedom, though. It's like, I mean, I don't advocate this if anyone's listening, but we used to call it knockdown ginger. I don't know what you used to call it.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
Knock a door
run off. But where I lived, on the housing estate that I lived, it was full of alleyways. Full. And you could literally whiz up an alleyway and over a brick wall and then up another alleyway, and you'd be gone. They would never find you. You'd be gone forever. So it was so good to do, because you'd knock and then you'd be gone. So by the time the adult got to the door, it's like, oh. And this old boy, we used to knock his door all the time. I still feel bad to this day, because it used to take him a while to get to the door.
Oh, bless him.
The day, we were looking at the door, and I was like, I can see a hand. And we were like, what? I said, I can see a hand on the handle. It's like he was waiting there all the time to knock the door. So, of course, that was like, yeah, let's go knock it.
Oh, my God.
We're not daring each other to go knock it.
Now, though, you just think, if someone did that to me, I'd want to smash their heads in if they were knocking on my door.
As an adult, I'm like, bloody good.
But we used to do all that, didn't we? I can remember we used to knock on the door. You know, now you just think, oh, childish. You were kids, weren't you? It's like we used to go out all the time, didn't you? So you had to find your own entertainment. We didn't have all those. I think the only computer that was out was that Commodore 64.
Oh,
Do you remember that, Claire? That used to get on my nerves, because you'd be playing a game and then you'd have to turn the cassette over and plug it back, play it back in, just start the game a bit. Tiny little things, right? They were brilliant. Right, so I'm going to love you and leave you, because thanks ever so much for both of you. Thanks for coming on, Karen. Thanks for coming on, Claire. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Brilliant. That's all I'm going to say. Absolutely brilliant. Have a good day.